If you are looking for a same-day business loan instant approval, you need to have a formula to qualify. You need to have a formula to actually get approved for a massive amount. So this is what I want to talk to you. I want to give you the formula, the hack you need to have in order to be approved no matter what. So here are the steps I want you to really pay attention to. So when we talk about same-day business loans, instant approval, you got to have a clear idea about your timeline. See, it's not about, hey, listen, I want a same-day business loan. Okay, but what kind of timeline do you have? Remember that before applying for a same-day loan, evaluate your borrowing needs to determine whether same-day funding is necessary. Remember, so while some business owners may find themselves in need of immediate emergency funding, it's always best to avoid this type of financing when possible. Remember, when we talk about same-day funding, you are speaking about sky high, like a very high APRs. And in some cases, you're thinking about a low loan amount. So there are consequences. There are potentially negative consequences when it comes to obtaining a same-day business loan. So be very careful about your timeline. Do you really need to have a same-day loan, or you can just apply for a regular loan where you don't have to worry about anything? You don't have to be in a rush. You can just take your time and apply. So be very careful about that. So it's really important because there are consequences. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to actually have a quick convo with you about same-day business loans, instant approval. How do you qualify? Okay. Now, determine your timeline. So when we talk about having a same-day loan, same-day business loan, instant approval, I want to quickly talk to you about the pros and cons of these types of loans. So what are the pros here? Pros: you have quick access to funds. You have an easy application process with low documentation requirements. They don't ask you for a lot of info. Okay, they'll probably ask you about revenue. They'll ask you about your bank statements, and that's probably it. And you do have low qualification requirements such as time in business, credit score, and revenue. What about the cons here? Well, rates and fees tend to be higher than other types of loans. You got to be aware of that. You might have a high cost of lending, which can impact your cash flow and business growth. And this can impact your credit score negatively because you have less cash to pay off other debts. And not all loans can be funded quickly, such as certain types of commercial real estate loans. So the second thing I want you to do here is that when you actually determine your timeline, you got to ask yourself, okay, do I need a same-day business loan, instant approval? Okay, I do need it. Okay. Now, second thing you want to do here is that you got to check your credit score, because we're talking about, bad credit. So the question is, you got to ask yourself, okay, I have bad credit. Okay, that's fine. But am I sure I have a bad credit? And what credit do I really have? Because bad credit, you are speaking about a long spectrum of, like a very large spectrum of credit scores. Because bad credit start at 300 and goes all the way to 579, or in some cases 625. So what kind of bad credit are we really talking about? Because the thing is that bad credit could actually either narrow down the ecosystem of lenders who want to talk to you, or even give you a low APR, relatively low APR. So be clear about the bad credit we're speaking about. And the thing here is that what we have seen in our research is that a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, they actually think they have bad credit, but in reality, their credit is not really as bad as they thought it was. So again, what I'm trying to say here is that there's a delta between what people believe and actual reality. Okay, I mean actual reality. So it's important for you to double check once again that you do have indeed bad credit. If you don't have bad credit, then that's really good, because that means what? It means you can actually access a lot of loans, a lot of business loans, and at better rates with more competitive terms anyway. So this is really important. Remember that when we talk about bad credit, a lot of lenders want you to have at least 500 to qualify for same-day financing, but many require a FICO score of at least 550 to 600. Okay, and the thing is, while these requirements vary, borrowers with higher credit scores will always qualify for more competitive interest rates anyway, right? I mean, this is really this is not a biggie. This is just totally normal here, and so it is what it is. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about same-day business loans, instant approval, bad credit. How do you actually get it? How do you get approved ASAP? How do you actually, bypass the traditional process and get approved ASAP? And one thing I want to say here is that please make sure that you do have your revenue information. Okay, because if you want to have a same day business loan instant approval, your revenue is important. Now, your revenue, you can show it through your bank account, your business bank account, or through your accounting software. The third thing I want you to do here is that if you are trying to get a same day business loan instant approval, bad credit, you got to really compare lenders. Okay, don't rush here, because see, the thing is, I know you probably want the funding real fast. Okay, that's okay. You probably need to take care of business, to maybe make payroll, or to pay for inventory, whatever. But there are so many lenders, it's crazy. I mean, like, sometimes you're like, wow, I can believe that. I'm lost, because there are so many lenders. I don't know whom to trust. Now, this is why we have shows like this, because what we do is we actually do the research and we break it down for you. Okay. So basically, if you were to contact, if you can put in the comment section the kind of lenders you are looking at, will tell you which one is best. Because see, the thing is that you have so many lenders, but some lenders do not cover all states. You have some lenders who cover, like, some lenders cover 40 states, 45 states. Some lenders don't lend in certain industries. So depending upon your specific niche on in your economic sector, you might qualify for certain lenders and not qualify for others. But so but you have to compare lenders, and the best way to compare lenders is to actually use sites such as a Nerd Wallet. You have a Wallet Hub. You have the bankrate.com. Okay, but the thing is, you do have those platforms, and what they do is they kind of give you a calculator, and they give you it's like a loan aggregator or business loan aggregator. So they can actually show you, they can help you compare side by side all the different loans. They'll look at things like APR. They'll look at things like repayment window, the loan amount, and so on and so forth. Also, the eligibility criteria. So the bottom line here is that you need to compare, and you also want to pre-qualify. So whenever you choose a lender, make sure that you pre-qualify. Do not actually start applying right away, so they'll do a hard pull on you. No, just you want to go through a soft pull process first, so that you can see what kind of loan they have, like what kind of loan is available. Again, what I'm trying to say here is this is applicable to all instances of same day financing, same day business financing. Okay, go through a soft pull first to see how much you can qualify for, and it doesn't matter what kind of business structure you have. If you have an ALC, if you have a C corporation, if you have an S corporation, if you have an ALP, if you have an LP, whatever business structure you have, you can qualify. Not a problem. The next thing I want you to do here is to prepare documents. See, the whole thing is that if you're trying to get a same day business loan instant approval, and your documents will play an important role. Why? Because you already have bad credit, which means that you need to pay more attention to your business documents. We're speaking about your income statements, particularly, and your cash flow statements. Some lenders will want you to show also your balance sheet, so they want to see a state of your business assets versus your business liabilities to see exactly what's really happening. If your business net worth is positive, in other words, if your equity is positive or not. So you also want to have, in some cases, you might have to show your business plan. So again, we are speaking about same day business loans. What will happen here is that it's better to have the business plan ready. So if the lender asks you to upload that business plan, you can upload the business plan ASAP. Okay, it's all about being prepared. And one thing I want to say here is that, so when we speak, in some cases, they might ask you also for business tax returns. So they might ask you for your 1065 or your 1120, depending upon, or your 1120S for that matter, depending upon the legal structure of your business. So again, that's just what I want to say. But one thing I want to say here is that the documents will depend upon the loan that you are getting. Okay. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to actually properly apply for a same-day business loans instant approval, bad credit. And so one thing I want to say here is that there are several types of same-day business loans. So you have short-term loans, you have business lines of credit, you have merchant cash advance, you have invoice financing. As a matter of fact, you also might have like some kind of hybrid arrangement depending on what the bank or credit union or alternative lender wants to have with you. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have a lender who really likes your profile and they really want to bank on you, literally bank on you, invest in you, and by approving your loan, they might structure a different type of loan, business loan for you, specifically for you. You have this all the time. It's called structured financing. So they will probably look at your situation and have a financing arrangement that really works specifically for you, that does not exist elsewhere, that works for you. So this is really good. The next thing I want you to do here is to actually submit a formal application. So if you're trying to really get to get your loan ASAP, you got to submit your formal application. Now, when we talk about submitting a formal application, you might be thinking, well, this is very easy. No, it really depends upon the lender. Now, lenders have different rules and regulation. I mean, rules and requirements when it comes to submitting your formal application. Now, some lenders want you to submit everything through email. Some lenders want you to submit everything through a specific website that they will direct you to. Some lenders will tell you to actually send them, your application via regular mail, snail mail. Yeah. You have a lot of some lenders in this day and age that still require to have a paper mail. But when we talk about submitting a formal application, we're speaking about you actually printing out, or you have to fill out every single section of the application. Now, some lenders have loan applications that go all the way to 3 pages, 4 pages. So it is what it is. Now, if you go with an online lender, what they do is they actually will give you a 1 or 2 page, online application form that you have to. Actually, it's not a form. It's a questionnaire. It's a Q&A. You have to go through. It's a survey. So they have more information about your business, and it probably takes about 5 minutes. So nothing complicated, nothing convoluted here. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that you actually, if you're looking for a same-day business loan instant approval, you can actually be approved without visiting like a branch in person. Okay, remember that. And so the cool thing is that if your application is incomplete, the lender may contact you via phone or email to request additional documents or information. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that they might ask you for, I think I just said it. They might ask you for a business plan. They might ask you for business financial documents, financial statements. They might ask you for tax returns. They might ask you for bank statements. That's why you always want to have those documents in quote unquote in storage with you, right? Just in case if they ask you, you can probably pull those documents up, and that's fine. Because the thing is that if you're looking for a same-day business loan, you want to be fast, right? Because the lender will be fast, the lender will get back to you ASAP. You want to be ready as well, so that you can be funded as soon as possible. So this is great. This is a great tactic. Let me give you a few pro tips when it comes to same-day business loan. The thing is that same-day business loans, instant approval are kind of cool, but what if you don't qualify? What if you tried everything? What if you have, it doesn't matter. You probably have a good credit score or a bad credit score, and you can't find any lender to sort of help you out. These things happen. I mean, you have instances where you tried everything, So you got to think about alternatives. So what is your backup plan? So you got to have a backup plan so that you can still be funded. It's all about being funded anyway, boss. Okay. So there are some alternatives. Thank God there are some alternatives to same-day business loans. So you have a small business credit card. Okay. Maybe you could probably charge whatever you want to charge for the loan. You can charge it on a credit card as long as the service provider or the seller accepts business credit cards. Or you can try to get a personal loan for a business. So basically, you get your loan from a bank, like let's say U.S. Bank, Key Bank, Fifth Third. You go to Navy Fed, you go to Penn Fed, you go to USAA, you go to those lenders who only lend to people, individuals, and you get the loan and use the loan for a business. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. And you can get a loan within 24 to 48 hours. This is totally fine. Just make sure in some cases that you might disclose what you're going to use the cash for. If the lender asks you, please do not lie. You never want to lie. You want to be truthful on a loan application. Very important. And you can also try to get funds from friends and family. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we don't want to talk to our own folks, but hey, listen, what if somebody can actually help you out? This is totally fine. So one thing I want to say here is that, you got to always think about a backup plan, because you might have, let's say, the best financial profile, but maybe the state of the economy, you have people actually, you have the stock market having like some yo-yos, and a lot of banks, a lot of lenders are kind of scared about the economy overall, blah 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 blah. So no matter your credit score, you might actually find a hard time to qualify. Imagine like 2 or 3 years ago when COVID hit. You have a lot of business owners who had or who still have good credit, perfect credit. They couldn't be funded. They couldn't be funded, and that was a problem. So you got to always think about backups. Okay, very important. Let me give you a bonus here. So if you're still around now, I want you to give you a few pro tips for comparing same day business loans. So basically, if you want to get approved for a same day business loan instant approval, it's important to pinpoint the business loan that really works for you, right? So it's one of those things where you don't want to be you don't want to be saturated with a very high interest rate, and the last thing you know, you can't really make the payments, and this really compounds in even endangering your credit. This is kind of crazy, so you don't want that, right? So what you want to have is, you want to be in a situation where you are constantly comparing and contrasting same day business loans, so you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into. So you want to find a loan that meets your budget and borrowing needs. That's really important. And so you want to make sure that your borrowing needs will actually depend upon your cash inflows and cash outflows. In other words, your net cash flow, which is also a reflection of your revenue. So you need to find a loan that meets your budget and borrowing needs. And what you want to do here is that if you want to compare those lenders, please review each lender's application requirements. Because the thing is that, see, what you want to do is you want to have an Excel spreadsheet where you list all the requirements and you just kind of look at them side by side, so you have a clear idea whether or not this loan is actually great for you or not. So this is important, okay? So, and you please take time to review the lender's reputation and reviews. I mean, the cool thing is nowadays you have a lot of reviews online, even though some of those reviews are not actually truthful. People actually buy reviews. I mean, it is a real thing in this industry. But I would say overall, those reviews are still accurate. So maybe 10% or 10% or 15% are fake. But hey, listen, 85%, I'll take 85% or 90% every single day. So this is really good. So you want to review the lender's reputation and public reviews, and you want to avoid fees wherever possible. So what we're talking about here is that if you have like some lenders will have like what they call a document fee or administrative fee, or some kind of like whatever they're charging you. If you can avoid those, please avoid them, because those fees can actually go from 1% all the way to 7%. So, this is still a lot of money, because if you're applying for, let's say, if you get $100,000, that's $7,000 maximum in terms of fees. That's crazy. So be very careful here, and you want to pay attention to that part. And one thing I want to say here is that you basically want to choose. You have to think about when to choose a same day business loan. And it really, really is kind of suitable for situations where you may need to finance short-term cash flow issues. If you are a startup with no credit history and limited financial records, or let's say you're a borrower who doesn't meet the eligibility requirements for traditional loans, or you're a business owner who needs cash quickly to take advantage of a business opportunity. So those are like overall by far and large, by far the circumstances that will lead you to get a same day business loan. All right, let's quickly recap here. And so in today's conversation, I was talking to you about how to get a same day business loan, how to be approved ASAP. So first, you want to determine your timeline. Number 2, you want to check your FICO score. Number 3, compare your lenders. Number 4, you want to prepare documents. Number 5, you want to submit a formal application. Then I give you a few pro tips and then a bonus. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.